welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Jay. I have another special guest in the building. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself.
What's going on? This is your girl, Bre Nickelle, a.k.a. The Quiet Storm. And yeah, I'm grateful to be here with you.
How you doing, Bre Nickelle?
I'm doing very well on this hot Sunday.
Man, it's hot up in here, man. Where you from?
I'm originally from the south suburbs, but I
Okay.
rep the east side of Chicago.
Okay, so at what point did you migrate to the east side?
In 2016, I came out here.
Okay, so you was born and raised in the suburbs.
Yeah.
So what was it like growing up in the burbs?
Oh man, culturally diverse. It was cool compared to the city, not as active. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear a whole lot of sirens and the norm of the gunshots and stuff like that. I love the high school that I went to. Shout out to Bloom Trail in Chicago Heights. I think it was just a pretty dope experience. I'm very grateful to have been a suburbanite girl because now in my adulthood, a lot of my peers appreciate that. Like, man, I love that you're from the south side. I mean, the south suburbs. I love that. Like, you got this certain type of style about yourself that I love and admire. So I'm grateful for that.
What was a couple, I would say, life lessons that you learned growing up in the south suburbs?
I don't really know if I would say life lessons. I mean, family. I'm gonna say my family was much tighter than the average family. We all was together. I had my auntie stayed across the street, another aunt around the corner, and it's pretty much the same now. They all kind of stay around each other, and we just was a close-knit family, growing up, and believed in Sunday dinners and, Sunday prayer and stuff like that. Yeah, that's about pretty much, that's it. Nothing too much.
All right, now, 2016, you migrate to the east side. What made you go over east?
Man, in 2013, I took a tragic loss. I lost both of my parents, and it kind of left me as like a loner, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my family, but I think we're all in the grieving process, and everybody just kind of dispersed and, lost contact with one another and stuff like that. And I stayed out there for like a year and a half. I was got pregnant out there, and then some stuff happened between me and my child's father. So yeah, from 2013 to about 2015, I had it really hard, like a divorce, abusive relationship, just trauma all over the place. And then God allowed me to reconnect with one of my mom's best friends, and she kind of took me and my son in. I went from being, in my parents' house to being homeless, with the little baby. And she just took us under her wings, and man, we've been out here ever since. Thank God for her. Shout out to Miss Brown. She just is a powerful force in my life. So yeah, that's how I came out.
Man, being homeless with a child.
Yes.
How difficult was that, and how strong did you have to be to, see that, well, not see it through, but, come out on the other side of that?
Man, it was very difficult. It was very humiliating. Even though my child was months old, he didn't know what was going on. I just felt like, man, I felt like a failure, like I can't even provide for my son, and, I had no car. I was used to having a car. I was used to being free, I was a very privileged child, you know what I'm saying? And maybe that's why I can't really say what really taught me, because my parents really held my hand until they dying day, you know what I'm saying? They really walked me through life and sheltered me and stuff like that. So to the age of 25, I was sheltered. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have no life experience that I can really tell people other than, losing them. It's like after I lost them, that's when I began to grow up, and, life really started life, and you know what I'm saying? And so you know, just being homeless with a son, like I say, I just felt worthless, you know, like, dang, how do I, but it was a saving grace. I swear I used to hear my mom just in my ear sometime, like, you can make it, keep going, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, it was humiliating, but I had to muster up the energy and the strength to just ask for help. And that was the best help that I could have gotten from Miss Brown. You know, she let me in and she sheltered us. You know what I'm saying? She gave me what I was missing. You know what I'm saying? I would say that she's like my godmother. You know, she took us in and she nurtured us with her food, with her time, with her money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we became her responsibility. So I guess after getting over the pride and the ego, man, it was smooth sailing. You know what I'm saying? She put me back on my feet with a job and bought me another car, you know. So, man, I mean, after being homeless, going to that, it was a blessing.
First, my condolences on losing both your parents.
For sure.
You know, I think we overlook the statement, it takes a village. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't understand that until the village is not around, you know, and we got to figure out everything on our own.
Yeah.
Do you ever look back on that and be like, I'm not happy I went through that, but that was something that I had to go through in life?
Yeah. Of course, it, you know, still hits home. You know, I don't think the pain will ever go away. You know what I'm saying? I thank God, my mother's prayers, my father's prayers, my grandparents' prayers, I think they holding me still, you know. And but I know that it's a part of my journey. You know, I know that it has made me stronger, wiser. I have a story to tell now. I can comfort the people that have lost their parents. You know what I'm saying? I can give them hope. I can, you know, speak to the people, the single mothers that might be homeless. You know, I have a story, you know what I'm saying, that's worth something. And although it might hurt, you know, for the rest of my life, I know that that's a part of the process, you know, and I know it came to make me better.
I know you say going through that was embarrassing. At what point did you get to that point in life where you were comfortable, you know, talking about everything that you went through?
I'll say probably 2018. Shout out to a few of the young ladies that I worked with at the job that my godmother helped me with. They became so, you know, nurturing and understanding and opening, you know what I'm saying, to me, and just, you know, real, like, girl, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody go through stuff. You don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have to be ashamed, you know. And I guess being around people more gave me the opportunity to express more. You know what I'm saying? I was like a closed book then, you know. Coming over all of the stuff that I went through, I'm like, man, but when I started talking, I started finding that I'm feeling better now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm gaining confidence again. I'm gaining, you know, my life back. And so, yeah, when that feeling came, I was just like, okay, let me rest in that and let me grow from that, you know.
Ill Sound Radio is a premier destination for cutting-edge music and engaging conversation. We focus on showcasing local talent and emerging artists, entrepreneurs, and much more. So tune in every Sunday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. for a mix of electrifying music, thought-provoking interviews, and engaging commentary that will keep you entertained and informed. So get ready to experience the best of both worlds in music and talk with Ill Sound Radio, only on Illinois Radio. Growing up, what was something that you wanted to be?
Actually, I was like a basketball star at Bloom Trail, you know, and I was really good in basketball, and I actually wanted to go to the WNBA. But my mother took me off the team. Being a PK kid, it was a lot, you know, some stuff my mother didn't tolerate, you know, and I went home and I told her one day, like, Ma, it was some stuff that I seen in the locker room that was, you know, kind of Like, wow, for a 15, 16-year-old, like, man, okay. So I went home in innocence, like, Ma, I think, I saw this. And man, she
wasn't having
instant,
that
no
shit.
way. She like, all right, that's it for you. Man, when I tell you I cried. I begged and pleaded, like, please, y'all, please let me back on the team. But my mother was just like, no, you know what I'm saying? We gonna find you something else to do. And if basketball is in your future, we can find another route. But after that, I became like stagnant in it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I really wanted to hoop. I was a good hooper.
So at what point did you get into music?
I've been writing since like 10. Writing little short stories, little lyrics and stuff like that. But I really took it on in 2020. Quite naturally, I think everybody thought like this was it when the pandemic hit. Like, I didn't know if we was gonna die. I just was like, man, we live one life. Let me go out here and just do it. And I just hopped out there. And my first single called Nothing Beats was just basically about the time that I went through from 2013 to 2018, and it just opened me up to a bunch of opportunities, you know what I'm saying? Shortly after that, the same year, 2020, I released my first EP called Vivid. And it's just a storybook of everything I've went through, everything I've learned, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of introduced the next phase that I'm going into.
So your first time literally ever actually recording was during the pandemic?
Yes.
So you just hit the ground running?
Yes. Man, my best friend in 2019, she was like, girl, for your birthday, I'm going to get you some studio time at Studio 11. When she said that, I like clammed up like, no, I'm not ready. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like instantly, as soon as like the world shut down, we was in the house, I just picked up my notebook and I started writing. You know what I'm saying? And I had watched, I can't remember the movie. I'm going to go back and find the movie. But it was Tracy Ellis Ross. She was in the movie. And at the very end of the movie, it was her on the soundtrack. And the beat was phenomenal, her lyrics and everything. And that really touched me. And that's where I came up with the concept of Nothing Beats. I constructed the beat right there. The words started flowing right there. It was just an instant, like, this is what I want to do. I want to pick this back up.
Okay, now it's one thing to write, you know what I'm saying, and it's one thing to, be in your own bubble with your creation, you know what I'm saying. But was it easy to actually go on that booth, you know what I'm saying, and lay your heart out for whoever was recording it?
No, I was a ball of nerves. Like, I was just, and the first Nothing Beats, you heard it. You know what I'm saying? It sound like I was nervous, but it was a moment where everybody that I knew, family, friends, church family, everybody was proud of me. Like, oh my God, she did it. Because I was a part of the praise team at the church. I played the drums at the church. I've been a part of the church all my life. And my mom knew. She like, girl, you got the gift. Open your mouth and sing. Mm-hmm. But I was always, even now I find myself afraid to like let it out. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what's going to happen. I always thought in my mind like, I don't want to catch the Holy Ghost. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that. I love God, but I just was scared of that. I didn't know, you know what I'm saying, what that would be. And so, when I got in the booth, I was just a ball of nerves. But then after listening to that and, man, hearing the success behind it, like, man, it was shared almost 50 times. Like, I had so much support behind me. I went back and I did it over. And so I told my business partner, Sarai Cove, and that's my producer or whatever. He makes all of my beats. I told him, I said, let's take the first one down. He said, no, keep it up. That's a part of your journey. So they can hear, you came from this to this as you continue to elevate. Mm-hmm. So I got 2 versions out there. And but it definitely was a little scary for me at first.
After receiving the support, you know what I'm saying, and knowing that you had something special, was it still like, man, now this gonna put a little bit more pressure on me?
No, I went harder. After that, man, Sarai started feeding me all type of beats, and we just, man, he'd send me a beat one day, the same day, a couple hours later, I send him me singing on top of it. Probably that weekend, we'll go record. And that's how in December I was able to drop a whole EP, you know what I'm saying, because we was humping, you know. In 2021 we came out with visuals, you know what I'm saying, back to back to back, and singles, and we was just doing it. Like, once I stepped out there, I wasn't afraid. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't afraid anymore. And that opened up opportunities of me. I started to perform live and started to do interviews on the radio stations and stuff like that. So, I don't know, I just leaped out there, and it opened up a lot of doors for me.
Looking back on it, do you look at your mom's decision to take you off the basketball team as something that, you know, propelled something that she really saw in you? Because you say she told you open your mouth and sing.
Yeah.
And then we had to all sit down during the pandemic, and it was like, man, this is actually my first true love.
Yeah, I think if she wouldn't have sat me down, I would be playing basketball and I would not be a singer. I'd probably still be writing, but nobody would know. You know what I'm saying? So I think I am grateful for that, you know, but what she tried to keep me away from still ended up showing in my life. You know what I'm saying? And not to put my personal business out there, but I found my best friend in a woman. You know what I'm saying? And I love her, and I'm in love with her, you know, unapologetically. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we could try to keep our kids away from, you know, things that we don't particularly like. You know what I'm saying? But we have to let them make the decisions on their own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but shout out to my mother, you know, my angel. I understand her. You know what I'm saying? At that particular time, I probably wasn't prepared for that. You know what I'm saying? Because I was so young, and who knows what would have happened. But now, as a 35, going on 36-year-old woman, I'm secure in myself. You know, I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to my mom.
You know, they say the hardest job in the world is to be a parent. Because as I'm a parent too, and my whole goal is to, you know, protect my kids, you know. And it's difficult growing up without somebody. My mom loved me, but my pops wasn't there, you know. So my mom working, you know. So majority of my life I figured out, you know what I'm saying, on my own.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to allow my kids to do the same thing, because it's like, man, I know some of the shit I done seen. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, absolutely.
it's definitely difficult being a parent, and we don't always know what's best for our kids.
Right,
And
absolutely.
that's the weird thing about it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, now putting it all into your music, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you ever listen to your own music and get emotional?
Absolutely. I have the whole Nothing Beats movement. Every time I hear it, it like gives me either the chills, or it just take me back to a place of, it gives me mixed vibes. You know, me telling, you know, the part about my parents leaving and stuff like that, that causes me to get choked up, but it's also a triumphant message in it, you know what I'm saying, to keep going, and at the end of the tunnel, there is light, you know what I'm saying. I have a couple of songs. Matter of fact, all of my songs touch me. All of them are like my babies, for real. They all have a message. They're all a piece of me, you know what I'm saying, and I really open myself up when I share my music. You know what I'm saying? I'm like literally an open book. I don't have to hide anything. I'm just me, you know, and whoever gravitates to it, thank you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't, thank you. But that's my outlet. Music is my therapy. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I love it.
All right, you released Vivid in 2020. It's 2023.
Yes.
Like, why has been a big gap between like projects? Because you still releasing music, but that's just your only full project.
Yeah. I just been finding myself. I released probably between the time I probably released about 4 or 5 singles. and probably like 3 of those singles have videos. So I still been working, but I sat down on a whole project because I needed more content for my story, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So from 2020 to now, I gained more insight on life. You know what I'm saying? So, which leads me up to this summer, I will be dropping my second EP or album. I'm floating in between what I want to call it, called R&Bre. And I definitely will share a lot of my emotions yet again and a lot of the things I've been through in the past 3 years. But sometimes I feel artists need to step away for a second to really gather themselves and really, instead of just trying to, present an EP every year, like you might not have the proper content every year, you know what I'm saying? So I think once people sit down and really, go through some stuff, you know what I'm saying? That's what makes, the albums or the EPs better, is when you have time and space to really filter and process things, you know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like that time of finding yourself and growing musically also helps you gain more fans because you are in tune with who you are? And we all go through the same shit, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But for you to put it through your music, it's other women and other men out there going through similar things, and they connect with you more like that?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I was telling someone recently, like, because I was like 2020 and 2021 was a Bre Nickelle season. Like, I was just pumping, and I had a lot of eyes on me. But because I took this little break, you know what I'm saying, I have to build up the fan base back, and that's okay. I don't mind that. So I'm gaining new traction, you know what I'm saying? And I just, like I said before, hopefully if it reaches, whoever it reaches, let it reach them, you know what I'm saying? And if it don't, then it's okay with me. But I definitely try to make my music compatible for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I had the privilege, thank God, I have a syncing agent, and I have a song that's up for placement on a movie or commercial. It's just waiting to get picked up from whichever one. And that song right there is like a universal, like a pop type of thing. And I like the challenge of not sounding the same. You know what I'm saying? I can touch any genre, I can touch any category, you know what I mean? And so that's what I like most about myself. And if you're a true fan, that's what, I really hear people say, like, I love Bre, that you can go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Have you had one of those moments where you were able to personally interact with a fan, like in real life, mm-hmm. where they was like, man, this song touched me, this song did something special for me?
Yeah, a couple of times. It's 2 songs that I know for sure people have really like tipped their hats to me. And it is my song called Enough and Soul. Now, Soul is a more intimate, one-on-one type of moment with your significant other or whomever you choose. It's like a grown-up song, a grown and sexy song. A lot of women love that song. And the second one is Enough. It just was a song that I made up when I had enough. You know what I'm saying? And I just really wore my heart on my sleeve, and I just let all of my anger and my frustration out in that song. And a lot of people are able to relate to that because a lot of people are fed up with things. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people relate to that. So, yeah, I would say Soul and Enough are like my top 2 where people really be like, man, Bre, you put your foot all the way in that,
I know you said you was finding a way to build content around your story. Mm-hmm. Is it difficult being an artist now with everything needing to be posted on social media? Like, are you one of those people that, I'm still going to be a private person in real life?
Yeah, I try to I used to post my son a lot. Like when I wasn't doing the whole singing thing, my son, he's always been my life, always going to be my life. But I noticed that as I'm getting out into the light, I don't want him out there. So I barely post him now because I don't want the internet or people to start attacking my son or looking at my son. So I definitely try to keep me and my son's life out of the limelight. I try to keep my relationship out of the limelight as well. You know what I'm saying? But like when it comes to my creativity, my creative process, I'm open. You know what I'm saying? Like you can find me, I might post some content of me up in the booth, or me writing on my pad. I might do a quick little picture with that, or, you know, a snippet of me singing something. So I definitely like to keep people in tune to me, you know, but I'm still a little private because everybody not, you know what I'm saying, vibing with you for real.
What's your favorite process of the journey? Is it the writing? Is it the singing? Is it the performing?
Writing. I got in this initially to be a writer. I want to write for like the Beyoncés, the Rihannas, the Jasmines. I want to write for them. Like that's my whole thing. But I said, you know what, let me step out first and let the people know that I can sing and that I can write. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, writing, that whole process for me is so, man, I create vibes. You know what I'm saying? If I'm trying to create a love song, I'll, you know, turn off the lights, light some candles, you know what I'm saying, get a little libations going. Or if I'm in my mood of like, let's turn up, all the lights on, you know what I'm saying? I'm just vibing out, have me a shot or something, you know, get myself real in tune to whatever vibe I really want to. So I definitely would choose the writing process.
Now, with writing being your favorite process, I know there's moments where you feel me, where that pen just not working.
Yeah.
So how do you get back in tune and you know, get that pen back moving?
Letting it breathe for a while. You know, sometimes you just have to let it breathe. Like I said earlier, man, if I don't have anything, I have to step away for a while and let some things happen, good, bad, or indifferent. You know what I mean? But I can't really speak on that because lately it's the creative process has been
working.
Man, yes, it's been working. So I'm just excited for the next chapter that's about to happen.
What goals do you have for the rest of this year and going into next year?
Yeah, pretty much just releasing my album, releasing my video. I have a song with Johnny Dimitri that just dropped in March. We're gonna promote that a little more. We're gonna have a video to that coming real soon. And yeah, just maybe collabing more with a few people. I have a couple collaborations with a couple other young ladies that's coming out real soon. And yeah, I just want to complete R&B, you know, and let the universe and God and all of that stuff, it's gonna work in my favor. I'm just excited to be, you know, in my shoes right now, for real.
Outside of the artists you named about wanting to write for them, and the artists you've already worked with, like who are some artists you actually want to tap in with?
If we could go on the local level, Montana of 300. I would love to work with him. I work with his artist, Don D. Shout out to him. We have a song coming out, Holy City. That is amazing. That's going to be one for Chicago, for real. Other than that, I would probably do Common, BJ the Chicago Kid. That's just on a local level, you know. Elsewhere, I'm a kind of a hood girl on the inside, so I definitely probably say like Lil Baby, Future, you know what I'm saying? Something like that for sure.
All right. Being a female artist in Chicago, you know, I know that comes with its own ups and downs in the road. Like what are some things that you would, I would say, amplify about Chicago, good or bad?
Good is it is some phenomenal artists out here. I'm talking about, it's some phenomenal artists for real, like especially R&B artists. And I just want to advocate for all, male and female. And I just hope that, and I'm starting to see that it's turning in our favor. You know what I'm saying? You starting to see all of these R&B shows and stuff like that. I'm hoping that we can get a little more credit, you know what I'm saying? Because the process and the effort that it takes to be an R&B singer is not easy. You know what I'm saying? And that's no shade to the jazz, rock and roll, punk, country, and all the other stuff. But to be a singer, you know what I'm saying, it's just different, you know. And R&B, I don't feel it gets enough credit from Chicago. So I just want to glorify Chicago. I don't want to mention nothing negative about us, you know, because it's already in the streets. But this is a beautiful city. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially, it's no place like Summertime Shy. You know what I'm saying? Riding down Lakeshore Drive, cool breeze, barbecues, you know what I mean? All the functions just going on outside. So, yeah, no place like home, Chicago.
All right. If you can give your younger self any piece of advice, what would it be?
Don't take it personal. Facts. It's just don't take it personal. Like, this season that I'm in, the season that I just came out of, a lot of people would become bitter, you know, because you wouldn't believe the amount of people I know. I know so many people. But when it comes to when my parents passed, and when it comes to me stepping out into this Bre Nickelle thing, you'd be so surprised that it seemed like everybody has gotten like tight-lipped. You know what I'm saying? Out of all the people that I know, it's like a handful of people that really support me. And at first it used to affect me, like, man, why don't nobody, you know, nobody shares my stuff no more. Nobody does it. No, they'll catch on. You know what I'm saying? So, baby girl, don't take it personal. Just keep doing you, and it'll work in your favor. You know?
Facts is, you know, they say it takes somebody bigger than you to support you for everybody to, you know what I'm saying, jump on that wave. So
for sure.
Hopefully that's coming, you know what I'm saying? And for those people that shaded you, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you know, nah, it's over with for that. You know
yeah, for sure.
Can't spin a block on this one.
Yeah. But you know what? The crazy part about it is that's where the blessing come from, when you spin the block. When you help them out, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy for people to say, oh, well, you ain't support me, so peace out. No, you didn't support me, so I'm going to be an even bigger support to you. How can I help you? How can I serve you? Because I know where my blessing going to come from. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited, you know, that God gave me the gift. And just knowing that the people that I really counted on the most are quiet, I know they see me. You know what I'm saying? I talk to Johnny all the time, and we discuss numbers and stuff like that. And so I'm able to, on Facebook, you're able to view, you know, on my page, they have a See Insight. And you're able to view, you know, who looking at it, how many people. And the numbers are crazy. You know what I'm saying? Thousands of people. So whether you like it or not, baby, I know you watching me. So I'm going to keep giving you some good content. And then, you know, it is what it is. I'm cool, you know.
Hey, that's a great insight to have,
For
you
real.
know, because a lot of people that watch, they don't like. You know what I'm saying? But hey, they, like you say, that's still an analytic, and it captured that.
For
like
sure.
It captured you watching.
For sure, yes sir. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
before we get out of here, is anything else you want to tell the people?
No, just look out for R&B this summer. Check out the new single that I have featuring Johnny Dimitri called Play It Safe. We have another song called Galaxy, produced by Ejilla. We have some more stuff coming out with Tia Songbird and Chocolate Berry. Yeah, this is an R&B summer, R&B summer, and I'm just excited. I appreciate you for having me here.
No problem.
Stay tuned. More Bre Nickelle is on the way.
And I appreciate you for coming through on this Sunday. You know, it's nice outside. We don't get that often in April in Chicago. So
For
I
sure.
appreciate you for coming through, sliding and chopping it up with me. And one, being, you know, so honest. You know, I always tell people it's something about that couch. Like when Johnny first came, it was something about that couch where people just, you know, we get to talking. And, you know, it's a lot of things that listeners can grow from and learn from, you know, especially when you said that you were embarrassed about the situation you was in.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people, regardless of what situation they're actually in, that are embarrassed to, you know, ask for help, you know. And sometimes that's the strongest thing you can do is ask for help. You know what I'm saying? So I salute you and everything that you've been through, you know, because everything is a stepping stone at the end. When we look back on it, when we old and gray, you know what I'm saying, chilling by the pool, we be like, damn, man, I done been through some shit, you know, and look at me. So, man, I salute everything you got going on. And it's any way I can help you, you know, door always open for you.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
No problem. This has been another episode of Conversations with Jay.